Hey, buddy, watch this.
There's going to be a little awkwardness at the beginning always. That's every stream. That's nothing. That's nothing unique to us. Hey, I think we are live. Speaking of which, let me send out some real quick tweets before. Or I did this too late. But hey, everybody, if you're here yet, let's see chat. Hey, we got people. Hey, guys.
What's up?
How's it going? Everybody, it's Regis, and I've got a special guest, everyone. I am here with Tim Erskine from the Hearthstone development team. We have a literal insider. Not only that, my first ever guest on stream.
Nice, well, welcome.
Legitimately, first time ever I've had a guest. I always do this solo, and it is a great honor indeed to have you.
I appreciate it.
Guys, give us just a second here. We're still getting things rolling. It's a bit chaotic here at BlizzCon. A good chaotic, an insanely fun chaotic. We're having a great time. I'm just sending out my tweets and my Discord messages so we actually have some viewers here. Let's see what chat's saying, if I can find you guys. Poggers indeed. Special guest, says Dingus. Yes, Dingus. Dingus, put out the word that we're live just in case my stuff didn't work. I'm doing everything on the fly. Also, we're competing against the legendary Brian Kibler himself. So
I think you got this. I think you got this.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Brian's going to have way more viewers than we are, but you know what? We might have more fun.
I was going to say, it's not a competition. It's about having fun.
That's exactly right.
That's what we're here for.
So Tim, as we get rolling, it looks like we do have some people here. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for Hearthstone, what your role involves, so we all have a sense of just how awesome you are.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a senior producer on the Hearthstone team, and I oversee the gameplay group, and the gameplay group comprises of our design teams, so our card designers, our live content designers that do the tavern brawls and the events, as well as the mission designers that do all the PvE content that we do. So I kind of oversee all of that.
So you're basically the only reason Hearthstone exists. You take care of everything from start to finish.
Well, I'm the reason that Hearthstone patches get out to our players.
Okay. So a lot of people like you. People love patches. So that is that is fantastic.
Yes.
So how long have you been with the Hearthstone team? Have you been there since the beginning, or?
No, not quite since the beginning. I joined the Hearthstone team just shortly after we shipped. I think we shipped in March of 2014.
That sounds right. Yeah. I think I joined in May. I started playing in May. So
and then I joined the team in April on the localization side. So I was kind of supporting the team doing the international versions and the international clients.
So for anybody who's not familiar with the term localization, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, sure. So localization.
Maybe scoot in just a little bit too here.
No worries.
We'll make sure
we'll
we get your
cozy.
beautiful face.
Cozy,
yes. Chat's going to be excited.
So localization is basically all the different international versions of the Hearthstone client that we have. So obviously the game is made here in America, and it's in English, made by English developers, but it's played all over the world. So whenever the game is released in a different language or anything like that, I would take care of that.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I'd be the one
so I do remember one of the, I think, most prominent times localization came up was with Rexxar, when you decided to add in additional beasts to the pool for new expansions for Deathstalker Rexxar, the hero card, and some of the challenges you faced with making the different portions of text from the cards fit into Rexxar. That sounded like something that was really challenging to overcome. So I always respected that. Did you have any insights there or any behind the scenes on what made that so hard or why you guys were able to do it?
Well, one of the challenges is because we're developing the game in English, we're always thinking about developing this technology so that it works, during our testing. We're like, hey, can this even work, right?
Right.
So we're fiddling around, we're playing around, seeing if it can work, and so we're like, oh yeah, this could work, but then we didn't have the technology necessary to do all the other localization support, because certain languages they conjugate words or they decline words totally differently than English does.
Right.
So that was a big challenge initially. And we also were like, okay, this might not be as great of an experience, but we kind of worked through that, and working with our global teams like around the world, we kind of got to a consensus of like, hey, if we do it like this, it can work. So we were able to kind of resolve it. We still sometimes run into issues where the names get really long.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. There's already some long names in English. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes to other languages that just write words differently, the names just get even longer and longer. And
So,
then, oh, go ahead.
if you don't mind,
Yeah,
I just realized we haven't even said the word Rastakhan yet.
Oh yeah, we have not. You are
even
correct.
said
Because we're here at
Rastakhan's
BlizzCon,
I know.
where we did reveal Rastakhan's Rumble.
Exactly. I
Right?
feel like I've let down my audience a little bit by not hyping up the new expansion yet. I wanted to meet you, and it's all great.
No
Like,
worries,
we
it's all good, it's all
loved
good.
hearing the introduction, but that said,
Mhm.
so how has it been working on Rastakhan's Rumble? It's so crazy cool.
Oh yeah,
looking.
it's really
Like,
exciting.
I've been talking about a troll expansion for a long
Mhm.
time. My audience will know.
Mhm.
I've been hyping up the idea of trolls forever.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be excited to finally see it come to fruition. It's finally a reality. So,
Mhm.
how's it been? Like, what's the process been like for Rastakhan's Rumble?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, for a really long time, did you get to see the opening ceremony and the panel and everything?
I did. There's a little bit of technical
Okay.
difficulties, I know,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was fantastic, and I'm sure chat was all watching as well.
So then, for any of your viewers that haven't seen that yet, Rastakhan's Rumble is actually an expansion that we've been playing around with for a really long time. We really wanted to do a troll expansion. We just needed to find the right moment to do it. And then when we found King Rastakhan is this big troll
Yeah, he looks
god
awesome.
king, right?
Yeah, he looks
Yeah,
so cool.
He was just this great
I
character.
love that visual. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he looks fantastic, right? He's got that glow on his hand. He's just oozing with magic and power. He's really cool.
Oh, you really sell it. That sounded good. I'm even more excited. I didn't think that was possible. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we always like have a lot of ideas. We have a big log of ideas, and it just comes kind of down to timing and what feels right and fun, and how does it tie into the overall theme for the rest of the year for Hearthstone, and also just like how can we make fun cards that feel fun. And also work with the meta, then also fit thematically with the troll stuff, right? So there's all this like,
Yeah.
trifecta of things you have to fit just right. And just the timing was right for trolls right now. So I was really excited.
Don't tell chat that. There's going to be some trolls popping up in chat if we're not careful. And by the way, hi chat. We're going to get to you guys in a minute. Don't worry. We're coming back to you.
Oh, yeah,
there were
yeah.
some questions in chat I saw.
We don't want to neglect that.
Yeah. They're important. They keep us in business, both of us, I think. So,
Absolutely.
so that's awesome. So, real quick, can you say how many ideas are on this list? You said like a list of expansions you're narrowing down, and you picked trolls this time around. How long is that whiteboard? Is it like 10, 15, 20? How big do these ideas get? How grand? How much does it stretch on?
I couldn't tell you an exact number. I just don't know it off the top of my head, just because we're always kicking ideas around.
Right,
There are always ideas floating around, and everyone on the team is really encouraged to always like come forth with their ideas and be like, I think we should really do this because this would be really cool for reasons X, Y, Z.
Right. Yeah. So I've been looking for trolls for a long time, but if you had an expansion, I think you're most excited about this one right now, but historically speaking, has anyone really spoke to you or been the one you were most proud of, or the thing you felt like you accomplished the most, or the game was in the best state? Anything like that stands out in your mind? And by the way, we're playing terrible Hearthstone, I think. I'm not paying attention at all. Let's just pretend this is background noise. I care more about Rastakhan's Rumble and everything else right now.
Hey, we just got 2 Clutch Mothers out of this
God,
card, so that's pretty sweet, actually. I'm super excited. Are we close to our quest?
I don't even know. We're at 3 out of 6, so it's coming.
Yeah.
But we don't have that. This deck's not. It's not perfect.
He just played his Valspine Slayer, so like that's pretty safe.
Yeah,
bet, I think, to play the
there might
6/6.
be a trade here eventually, but we'll see. But I do play a lot of Quest Warlock. It's a very fun deck, and it's actually not too bad. We're like at I think a 48% win rate, which most people would say is bad because we don't win more than we lose. But it's like the fun level is 10 times higher, so it's worth a few percentage points here and there. And the fact that you can still win games, that's fine. I'll take it. I want to try to push the legend with it, but maybe Rastakhan's Rumble will provide some cards that enable us to do that. That would otherwise be impossible. So anyway, back to the question. Any expansion that you've just been super proud of, and maybe it's this one, right? Maybe it's this latest one.
I think probably the one I'm the most proud of is Whispers of the Old Gods.
Ooh, that was a fun one.
That's probably one of my personal favorite, just because I was. Oh, he did have the second one. That's a bummer.
That's okay.
But yeah, just Old Gods was just super fun. It was a really interesting moment in time in Hearthstone where we were experimenting a lot with like really powerful neutral legendaries and like creating all these different deck archetypes for everyone. So I just thought it was really fun. And that was good. Yeah, good play.
Just to give you some context, this is a quest where like there's a lot of control elements. The idea is stay alive long enough so that you have time to complete the quest, and then you Gul'dan and stuff for stabilization later. So it's got stuff like Godfrey and Defile. If you're wondering why all these non-discard cards are in this list, it works sometimes. We'll see. Also, you hit Cataclysm on turn 4 sometimes, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great play.
Yeah. So
But yeah, that's
Whispers
what
was I too liked Whispers a lot. I'm a Warcraft lore nut, I guess. Like I've always enjoyed Warcraft lore and played World of Warcraft back in the day. So the closer an expansion fits to the lore, I get those nostalgic vibes that are always really nice. And when I can identify characters and like legendary cards that I know, and we're tapping last year because we're bad Hearthstone players. But when I know characters, I'm like, yes, I know that person. That's so awesome. That's so cool. But that said, on the other side of it, it's great how Hearthstone creates so much new lore. Like Doomsday Project was the ultimate example of that, where all the new scientists, all these crazy new stories and contraptions, like that was perfect. It was so good, and having all these legendary scientists was such a good fit. So
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've been enjoying it a lot still to this day. I think chat's the exact same way. Now that said, so we don't forget about chat totally. Without the without the green screen, your house is baller. Someone says. I normally use a green screen. Check this out, by the way.
It's true, actually. I am actually at his house right now.
We just use Solarium into Gul'dan, but I happen to still have the coin, so we can actually still play Gul'dan post Solarium, which basically never ever happens.
Well, you meant those planned, right? Those
the whole time I was
totally on. Yeah,
banking that coin. Yes.
Yeah, Chad, this guy's a mastermind.
I am very, very good at Hearthstone, guys.
Yeah, excellent.
He has the stats to prove it behind the scenes.
It's true.
He knows it all. I'm actually the best player in the world. And by that we mean
I don't know about that, but pretty good.
He's like, no, it's actually me. I'm actually this player. So guys, by the way, I do see some subs and bits coming through. Thank you everybody for all that support. That's really nice. I'm not going to be able to call out everything individually.
Oh yes,
you did it.
Yes,
yes, high five indeed. And it was all you. It was all you.
It's true.
It's you hacked behind the scenes into all the Blizzard stuff.
It's all the positive vibes from chat.
Can you guys do that? Can you hack behind the scenes and give me bad RNG?
No, we actually can't do that.
I think there's been a time or two.
It's not how the game works at all.
There's been a time or two I've been suspicious. There have been some times you give me good RNG too. I'm pretty sure of that. So I did see one question. Oh, there are some people asking who you are, by the way. This is Tim Erskine. He is one of the big names in Hearthstone, a Hearthstone developer. Does pretty much everything possible. He listed off all the stuff he does. He basically has his hands in every little aspect of Hearthstone. I did see one question here, which is interesting. Somebody said, how can I go about joining the Hearthstone team? Someone was wondering, like, what process can they get involved with Hearthstone? We have such big fans, they want to actually make the game. Is that something that is available?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Step one is obviously find what you're passionate about. You really have to know what you want to do for Hearthstone, right? Like, I think it's really important to understand, do you want to be a designer? Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be an engineer? Like, how do you want to contribute to Hearthstone? We have all kinds of positions available. If you go to, I think it's careers.blizzards.com.
That sounds right.
Then you can see all the job postings that we have open there. I think one of the really key components to working at Blizzard is having passion. And, like players like yourself, like really just, and obviously your viewers as well, that bring this passion for Hearthstone and just for Blizzard games to us, just really like it energizes us and gets us really excited. And having that passion on the development team, and then also drive that back to the community, gives us this really awesome, like, positive feedback loop. We're making awesome stuff for you guys. You guys are telling us how you like it and playing it and giving us feedback, and we're all just making Hearthstone together, really. And I think that's really awesome.
And it's incredibly evident at BlizzCon, like the sense of not only the fan community, but I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of the people on the Hearthstone team now, and everybody just loves the game and loves talking about the game. And it's like, even at the, talking to somebody when, it's their job, so you wouldn't expect to want to have to talk about your job off-site, Like, most people don't want to talk about their jobs when they're not working, but people love it. They just want to talk about it all the time. They want to talk about cards. They want to talk about new expansions. So you could really, truly feel that passion, and I think that speaks a lot to how great it is to work with all these fantastic people and make something that people love too, which I'm sure feels really, really cool. So guys, I do want to bring up some new cards. Oh my gosh, look at all the bits. Everybody's they absolutely love you. Oh, another question here. Are there internships available?
Yes. Actually, if you go to the same website that I mentioned earlier, which is, I think, careers.blizzard.com, there's also an intern section, and we do have summer internships for next year up there already.
Oh. Exciting.
It's actually funny that they asked because I just asked about this myself just the other day.
Nice.
So I happen to just be able to let you know about
I'm
that.
sure anybody who takes up that opportunity would absolutely love it. I'm not. I'm playing the worst Hearthstone I've ever played. I'm literally not thinking about turns at all. I'm so excited about other stuff.
What you actually do is you're just tapping into your primal self.
Maybe
Like
that's
it's your
what it
base
is.
instincts. You know, you're not overthinking it. You're just playing
my gosh,
Hearthstone, right?
That's the secret.
It's
this
the root,
whole time.
right? Isn't that right, chat? Is that right?
Chat always distracts me. I blame them for everything. They're the reason I'm bad. I did hit the leaderboard one time, the top 200.
Congrats.
That was it. I had to prove myself once.
Awesome.
We try-harded for 1 month. Barely got there, but by God, we did it just that one time. So chat, and everybody out there watching, thank you guys so much for joining us. By the way, this wouldn't be possible without all of you. So thank you so much from both of us. I'm sure. I did want to talk about some new cards, so maybe we'll finish this game. I forgot to attack face. Like, oh my gosh, I'm literally the worst. I can't multitask like this.
That was rough.
Oh, you hit 2 spiders already.
You know what? I believe.
What?
I believe.
No, we have Cataclysm as an emergency out, but I just didn't want to use it because we have Gul'dan in hand, so I didn't want to lose our late game tool. But you know, sometimes the hand of fate is forced, and you kind of have to go for it. I don't think there's any other option here as far as. I mean, is there any way to line up a Godfrey with like no?
No, I don't think so.
There's no Godfrey.
I mean, you could hope for Solarium, I guess. But what are you
trying
trying to draw?
I don't know what's. I don't think there's anything in the deck that would help. Some defiles and stuff that wouldn't get there. Cataclysm's really the only universal removal, so I think we just have to snap it. Now, unfortunately. Oh, you know what we could do? Is there a demon cheap enough to play to heal first off of Solarium? Because this is 4 mana, which means we'll have 4 mana remaining. We won't be able to play the quest. But we might be able to find like a Void Walker to heal.
I was gonna say, you played 1 Void Walker so far, right?
Yeah, I mean it's very unlikely, but it's possible. No such luck. So I guess it's just Cataclysm and.
At least we complete the quest.
Yeah, it won't matter though because he's gonna rush us down probably before then. We'll see. But guys, after this game, we will take a look at some of the new cards because there have been so many insane cards revealed so far. It blew my mind. I feel like it's way more this year than normal. So I don't know if you've noticed what cards have been revealed yet, but did you have any particular one in the set so far that's been revealed that stands out or that's your favorite? I can do a real quick refresh here if you want to see the ones that have been revealed.
Not because of power level, but if you go down a little bit, there's a 6-drop card. Yeah, Cannon Barrage. I'm really excited for Cannon Barrage.
Really?
But that's because I'm a rogue player at heart.
Oh, you mentioned that. Yeah,
I love playing rogue, and I'm a big fan of pirates in general, not just inside of Hearthstone. I just love pirates.
Yeah.
So I love the fantasy of this card. You know, like imagine, you know, it's what's 1 cannon, but then all of a sudden you're just like, you know what? I got a bunch of pirates. All right, the lot of you, man the cannons, and then all the other pirates just jump in there, are firing their cannons.
Perfect. Yes.
Super fun.
So do you think it's actually going to be good? I guess is the next question. Is it going to be a competitive card or more of a fun card? Now, obviously, we're going to play it regardless because it looks fun, but I'm curious. I feel like you're going to have a lot of pirates to make it feel strong, and that might be hard to do on turn 6. I'm
not a balance designer, so I can't say if it's going to be like a meta card or not. I could speculate at best. I don't know if it's going to be powerful in the meta or anything, but I'm going to play that card a lot because it's fun and the animation for it is absolutely incredible.
Ooh, that's always an exciting part too, is like seeing all the cool new stuff. I did see already in the What's Next panel, I'm trying to bounce back and forth here so people don't lose total sight of the game. What is happening? This is a
Pogo Hopper deck.
Playing a Pogo Hopper deck. What?
This is definitely not what I expected.
I was not expecting that either. Oh my goodness. That might be okay for us though. We might be able to stall out long enough for our imps to just kind of smork him, you know, just eventually chip him down if he doesn't have any sort of defense or clear.
I just expected this to be tempo.
We're gonna. Well, yeah, me too. I thought we were gonna see a lot more aggression based on that.
I'm actually really excited now. This is now a really interesting game.
Got way more fun all of a sudden. Yes. And that's the best kind of Hearthstone is when both people are playing weird decks. Like usually it's my weird deck versus a normal deck, and you know it's still you get some neat new interactions because we are doing unusual things. But we're still
getting smoked.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a problem. But when it flips and we're both playing unusual decks, there's just so many crazy interactions. Not perfect, but you know. Is it enough? I mean, we're going to have to push through this just to make board space, if nothing else. I think it's going to be important to just keep replaying this.
Probably, yeah.
because it's just so much to work through.
Yeah, and
It's
you
just
already
such a giant
already
body.
discarded your Gul'dan anyway, so
Yeah,
you
you're
don't have
right.
to worry about it.
So this he healed to full again off that, but we might still be able to get there. Just depends. He's very low on resources right now, so I can't imagine anything crazy happening as far as as far as the swing is concerned. But there is a spider that sure doesn't hurt. So again, chat guys, thank you everybody for all the subs and bits. It's looking absolutely insane. Somebody said this is the first time ever in your stream that a non-bearded man has appeared on camera, and they're taking it as a personal insult. Guys, just a reminder.
I used to have a beard.
Oh, really?
I did.
See that. I think I actually saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was creeping a little bit on your Twitter to scope things out. Guys, this is Tim Erskine from the Hearthstone dev team. If you're just joining us, one of the great minds of Hearthstone that makes and.
I wouldn't say that, but.
Well, come on. You have to be one of the great minds of
I'm
Hearthstone.
great, but I don't know.
It's not the mind
I
part
just
of it.
don't have the mind.
So let's run through some cards here. We did play a
let's
little
do it.
Hearthstone
Let's
before.
talk about.
I only got you for a few more minutes.
There's a couple of your viewers said that they asked what they missed. So what did they miss, Regis?
What do you mean? What did they miss?
Yeah,
like, as far as
he said he just got home. One of your fans said he just got home.
Well, you've missed Rastakhan's
Khan's
Rumble,
right? Yeah, that's what you're missing.
What? Yeah, I mean, my goodness, guys, a new expansion's here. We've been talking about it for months, it seems, and we have. Is this legit? Have we had 16 new cards already revealed?
That's correct. This is the
4
opening
by
ceremony.
4.
Yeah, this was the opening ceremony had a couple cards that Ben Thompson revealed, and then Peter Whalen and Liv Breeden revealed the rest of these cards at the What's Next panel. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's been already a few of the legendary Loa revealed. Shurvala the Tiger, Hyreek the Bat, and please correct my pronunciation on any of these.
Shurvala.
You guys,
Shurvala. But
what did I say?
Hyreek.
Did I say Shurvala?
Yeah, you should.
Shurvala.
Shurvala.
I'm always bad about the emphasis in particular. That's where everybody.
But you
that's
nailed
where everybody
Hyreek,
gets me. Well, okay.
which I think is much harder because it has the hyphen.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Hyreek. That's Hyreek.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
get that
nailed
wrong
it though.
again.
You nailed it.
I'm gonna get that
Good
wrong again.
job.
And then we also Hexlord Malik.
Yeah.
That
That's
looks
a fun card.
That looks crazy. I'm trying to think about all the different possibilities. I think it can just be like a raw value card where you just get a bunch of extra stuff. But then there's also these opportunities where you can create extra copies of cool cards. Like the first thing that comes to mind is like Keleseth. I suddenly have an extra Keleseth if I decide to keep Keleseth in my opening hand, and that's impactful. But I'm sure it gets even bigger than that. You can do extra Flame Strikes for extra removal. If you wanted to, I guess you could have an extra Frostlich Jaina. I don't know
I think you make a really interesting point because what this card really does, it makes you think really differently about your mulligan, right?
Yeah.
If you're
keeping a high cost card suddenly makes sense.
Yeah. If you think that you're in a value matchup where you're like, the other person's playing probably some sort of mid range or a control deck. Maybe I'm facing off against Warrior. Maybe I want to keep this card in my hand. Not this card, but maybe I want to keep cards in my hand that are
we'll
like.
set up this card in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
That's intriguing. That seems like it's gonna be a really fun tool for Mage. And then I saw Reign of Toads. The animation for that was so sick.
It's
like
so
these
cool,
actual,
right?
Like, frogs are dropping down. I didn't get to hear the audio, but that's always a pleasure too. So
You're welcome.
Like
I provide sound
how
effects.
does your team decide what cards get sort of the extra animation boost? Because some have more traditional animation or stuff from old cards, or just, and then other ones have this crazy stuff. Like Twisting Nether comes to mind. It's like the most cool looking animation ever. Is there some process you decide which ones get the feature there? Just what feels good, or?
A lot of it comes down to feel. I mean, the number one question that's always asked is, if this card doesn't have any effects, does the player understand what's happening? Because if you play a card, especially cards that deal random damage, if you play a card that deals random damage and there's no effect, you just see numbers pop up.
Right,
It's really confusing. So one of the most important things to us whenever we look at cards and effects, we always want to figure out, like, hey, which are the cards that require effects in order to understand what's happening? How do you communicate the gameplay the best and feels really good, right? Because I think there's like a kind of symbiotic relationship between effects and the cards, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
And it goes both ways, right? If a card is really cool but it doesn't look cool, it doesn't feel cool. If you don't feel cool, is it fun to play, right? Because we're always thinking, like, is this fun to play? And that's really kind of...
That's the one thing that always makes Hearthstone stand out the most is every little voice line and animation, and even just the impact the cards make on the board. There's such a raw physicality to it, and it's translating that physical card game aspect so well into the digital space. I I think that's incredibly underrated for what makes the game so enjoyable. It's like just the actual interactions of playing cards to the board and trading into a minion, and the board shakes when you hit stuff. Like that's always been such a fun aspect of the game. It's not recognized enough in my mind. Like I think it's fantastic.
I definitely agree with you. It's really satisfying when you have like a big minion and you hit your opponent in the face and the board's just like boom.
Yeah, exactly. It makes the game feel so visceral and real. So on this list of cards here, we've had 16. Is there anything else that stands out here in your mind, or anything you'd want to talk about that's going to be really exciting?
I'm going to talk about the rogue card, but not just because I love rogues, but also because there's something that says on there that we've never done before that's really interesting, right? Can you spot the difference for your viewers?
There's stealth for 1 turn, which is
that's
weird.
Pretty new, right?
That's unusual. Also, this spirit idea, I guess, is kind of a new mechanic we're going to see for every class as well, right? So
also, it's not just your battle cries that trigger twice.
Oh, combos.
Combos trigger twice.
So I talk about the general aspects of the card. You hone in on the one rogue part of it. That's all you care about. I'm like, oh, there's this cool new stuff.
It's not all I care about, but I think it's really cool and interesting to talk about that because we've never done something like that that really interacts with combo or doubles combo or does something like that. So I really, one thing that's really fun for me is being able to, in this set, to kind of look at combo and do something different with it that isn't just like the regular version of combo that we've done before. So now when you're playing Spirit of the Shark and you activate a combo minion in your hand, you play it, that combo effect happens twice.
Right.
So Edwin Van Cleef all of a sudden gets +2/+2 for every card you've played ×2.
And it's not just 1 extra, it's ×2. So
exactly.
If you play 3, it's +6/+6 ×2 or +12/+12.
Exactly, right?
And I saw this, and I haven't had time yet to like cook up the theories or like cook up, all the crazy ideas. Is there anything, like Edwin's a good example, any other examples that you've seen so far that you can talk about that are...
Well, like regular utility cards suddenly become really good, like SI7 Agent, because you get the double combo, and then also just other cards in Rogue, like Pogo Hopper that we just lost to. Suddenly, because the battle cries are doubled, really powerful. And then you actually pointed out the stealth for 1 turn. That's also a new thing that we're doing, right? Usually when a minion has stealth, it comes in and then it has stealth until you do something with it, right?
Yeah.
In this case, something that was really important. And this comes down to like the feeling of Hearthstone. It's fun to feel powerful, but there's a delicate balance to ride between like feeling really powerful and then being on the receiving end of that. It's fun to be powerful, but if you're just getting stomped and you can't do anything about anything, it's not really fun.
If there's no interaction with the card, if it was stealth permanently, for instance,
right? Exactly.
Like I can't deal with it.
Yeah, if you're Paladin now, you have to like equality consecrate, or you have to double consecrate just to get rid of it.
Right.
And that doesn't feel fun to play against. But we also wanted to have players have that feeling of power, like, yeah, I'm going to do my cool thing. I got 1 turn and I'm going to do my cool thing. And maybe you can even use that, the ability of the spirit to protect it for longer so you can get more value out of it.
Right.
But I just think that's a really cool, interesting thing. And that rides that balance very delicately.
And if I'm not mistaken, every class is going to be getting a spirit, and they're
Correct.
all going to be 0/3s. Are they also all going to be 4 mana? Or are they?
The mana cost will be different on the shrine depending on the effect, but they'll all be 0/3s, and they'll all have stealth for 1 turn.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's exciting.
And every class will have 1 spirit, and they'll all be rare, so you'll be able to put 2 of them in your deck.
Okay. Increasing the consistency. I'm sure there's already people making some insane combo with Spirit of the Shark that's going to do something awesome, and I can't wait to see what it is. It probably won't be the most competitively viable thing, but it'll probably be a lot of fun. So
who knows? It might be. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled out.
Oh, that feels like a hint to
for
me,
some of the
like
card reveals that we're got coming up.
I was going to say, we haven't even seen hardly a fraction of the cards here. I think maybe just a little over 10% of the cards. Can you say how many cards are going to be in the set?
Well, it's going to be 135.
Standard? Okay,
standard 135 cards. And then each class will have 1 of the legendary Loa, which is like this primal animal god that they have. Yeah, like Shirvala and Hyreek the Bat.
Right.
And then Rogue will have their own, which is Grawl the Shark. And then
is this what he looks like here in this artwork in Spirit of the Shark? Is he just a big shark?
It's not quite what it looks like.
Oh.
When we do reveal that card and the art for it, I think you'll be really surprised. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. It's really incredible. So definitely look forward to that.
That's exciting. So is there now I know there's like kind of different teams here of all these Loas. Have you joined a team? I'm asking. I know the answer's already.
Oh, it's Grawl Sharks. Yeah.
Like
I'm definitely part of Grawl Sharks.
There's no point to ask. I do kind of like Shirvala. That looks pretty cool.
Shirvala's really cool.
I think I might be a Tiger. I don't know. I haven't got to catch up. I know they've revealed a lot of the champions already. Like it's been hard to keep up here at BlizzCon, so I got a lot of diving in to do, a lot of theory crafting, a lot of exciting stuff to look at. Now I think our time is running short here. I think we're gonna have to lose you soon. Is there any final thoughts you wanted to offer my chat or anybody else who might watch this in the future? Just anything at all that comes to mind about the expansion or what to look for, release dates, that sort of stuff?
Oh yeah, well, so Rastakhan's Rumble comes out on December 4th. So that's when the card set's released, and then the single-player content will release a week after that. You can pre-order right now if you want on the website, and then we'll just keep enjoying Hearthstone. Please keep giving us feedback. It's really important, I think, for the community and the developers to have a really good relationship and to get feedback constantly, because ultimately we're all making this game together, and it's our passion for this game that drives it forward.
Yeah, it's exciting. Also, I think one thing I didn't see mentioned previously, you do get a hero portrait with one of the pre-orders. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
You get Rastakhan himself?
You actually get Rastakhan himself. He's a shaman hero.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you pre-order one of the bundles, you'll be able to get King Rastakhan himself.
Oh, that's exciting. People call me a bit of a hipster because I play with a basic card back and the default hero portraits. I just like to keep it simple.
You do you, man. You do
That's
you.
a pretty exciting one, so we may have to try that one out a little bit.
Sounds exciting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tim.
Of course.
It's really
been
a
pleasure.
great pleasure. Thank you for sharing all this great insight with us and talking about these cards. It's greatly appreciated. So I'll let you get out of here and enjoy the rest of the show. We're looking out at this giant BlizzCon scene with lots of Hearthstone fans. So you got a lot of fans out there.
We got the global games going on right now.
Yes, we do indeed. I don't know how that's going. You just told my chat. Now they're going to go watch it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You
can watch both. You can watch both.
You've jinxed me. But yeah, I really do appreciate your time so much. Thank you for joining us, and I'll let you roam off here. I don't know. Maybe you can go hang out with Kibler. I don't know. Shh. Kibler's not streaming right now, guys.
Definitely not. He's definitely not.
Don't go to Kibler's stream. It's not. It's not happening.
Yeah,
but
the most handsome man in Hearthstone, right here.
Oh man.
It's the beard. It's the beard. It's magic.
Yeah, it's
really
okay.
magic.
It's a little short right now. People have been yelling at me for trimming it too short, but what are you gonna do? Well, yeah. So thank you so much. I'll let you go. It's been a really great pleasure, and we're gonna talk about more of these cards and pump up Rastakhan. But I don't even know what happened in our Hearthstone game, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, we bailed so that we could talk about Rastakhan's Rumble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you for your time.
No, thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you around.
And thanks, chat. Appreciate
chat,
it.
Say
I had
goodbye.
fun.
Everybody wave at him. Drop a hey guys to say goodbye. So they're not participating. There might be a little bit of delay, but that's okay.
I see. There's a couple. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
They're
everyone.
spamming my face. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Well, can you blame them?
There they go. That's actually my fiance right there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's lovely. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, seriously though, thank you so much for the work. Thank you for the expansion. It's always so exciting. We have so much fun.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your BlizzCon.
Oh, I
have
absolutely
fun.
will. It's my first one. It's been so fun.
I hope you get some time to check out the demo area.
I have not yet, but that's the first thing I'm doing after.
You get to enjoy some of the a sneak peek at the single player content.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun too.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Thank you so much, and
Take care.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. I can scoot a little closer to you guys now. See you again. Thank you so much, Tim. All right, guys. Hello. Regis, you're killing it. Way to go. Thank you. A little bit jealous. It is amazing. It is amazing. Not to brag, but I feel very lucky. I'll tell you that. And chat, let me scroll up. My God, chat. How many people are here? Who's watching? I don't know anything. We were doing the dev thing there. 153 viewers. That's pretty good for this short of a time into the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. I think we had like bits and subs. I'm so sorry, everyone. I really can't. I really can't keep up. That was hard to keep up with everything. But why the 0 and 3 stat line? What do you mean? Is there something on stream? Oh, on the spirits. Oh, I don't know. I guess that was a question for the dev there. Tim joining us. Very nice guy. Really cool. Hearthstone wouldn't be possible without him. I respect what he does a lot. He's like the organization behind everything. So guys, I'm just catching up with chat, saying hello. Lots of bits. Thank you guys for the bits. Again, I just can't. I don't have any sort of announcements or any overlays or anything to show the love there, but it's greatly appreciated. So what I want to do, guys, is talk through these cards, because I am not going to be able to do my traditional card reviews like I do every day of the reveal season for cards. At least not yet, while I'm at BlizzCon, because there's a lot going on and the internet is not always good in the hotel. So we're going to talk through some of these cards and kind of do like a pseudo review for my first review video. And I definitely want everybody's insights, because frankly I haven't had a lot of time. I have not had a lot of time to break these down in my brain. And I was talking to Ant and Wrasse when these were being revealed, and they were just like, oh, this card's not competitive enough. There's really, they're very insightful, very good at the game, but it was hard to separate, extremely competitive play from fun cards and try to think about them in unique ways. So the X-Pack looks great so far. I agree. I love this theme so much. I love when we have each class getting like its own thing. We saw it with the Scientists before. We saw it with the Death Knights previously. That was so freaking cool. And now we have the Loas, and these like champions too, which are really, really awesome. When is the giveaway? Oh, good question. We're gonna give away a this guy right here later. This is I don't know if you guys can see this very well or not. This is an Omen Mindframe headset. I'm giving it away. It's like a $200 headset. It has some crazy stuff. It's like it has cooling built into the ears. And I'm going to give it away. We'll do it probably 10 minutes or so. We're going to do a raffle on chat. And I will, actually I need to set that up now that you say that. I forgot. I have to get that organized. So just hang out for a little while and we'll do that shortly. Basically, really cools your ears. Yeah, there's literally like technology built in that has like a cooling process that moves the heat from inside the ear cup to the outside. It's also just a very cool looking headset as well, frankly. I don't know how well that's coming across on stream. It's the Omen Mindframe. You can check my Twitter if you're curious about more of it. I have them on my head now. Oh, really? Nice. So cool. I love the pun. Let me actually get that loaded up, guys, now that I say that. And yeah, new cards. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I'm just so turned everywhere because so much is going on. I've had the craziest weekend. Literally 2 minutes after I got here, I saw Crip in the hallway. Criparian, the god of Hearthstone, as far as I'm concerned. And I was lost. I was the hotel has this maze. There's like you take a left, you take a right, you take a left. It's off some down hallway, like unbelievable maze. And sure enough, as I'm trying to navigate this maze of a hotel, who stands at the crossroads but Criparian himself, the Salt Lord Crip. He was standing there on his phone, and I thought, oh my God, is that Crip? I was still kind of far away, like 15 feet. I was like, oh my God, that's Crip. I'm pretty sure that's Crip. And then I was like, what do I do? Am I cool enough to talk to Crip, or is it like what is Moobot's? Hold up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to load up my Moobot here. Give me a second. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but it's happening. Anyway, I was like, am I cool enough to talk to Crip? So I kind of casually rolled up, and sure enough, I said, oh, hey, Crip. And he's like, hey, I know you. You were on the BattleNet launcher. And I was just like, what? How does Crip know who I am? That seems insane. And sure enough, he knew who I was. And by God, we talked for just a short while, and then we took an elevator ride together, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And he knew who I was. I felt very humbled. Very cool. And then I've met everybody else. Like, Kibler is literally streaming right next to me. I talked to Brian Kibler for a little bit. He seems incredibly nice. I didn't get to meet Shiro, his companion, pet, his animal companion. But just a million people, a ton of Blizzard people. Everyone has been so nice and kind to me. I feel like the luckiest man in the world. Honestly, it's been great. So thank you guys for making that all possible. It would legitimately not otherwise be a thing that could ever happen if not for you guys. So that said, I think that's ready to go soon. And what we're going to do is talk about some cards. So what do I have? I have 45 minutes to talk about 16 cards. As you guys well know, that is not remotely enough time for me to do a card review, but nonetheless, we'll try our hardest. So, and again, I want your insights here, chat, on these cards, because I haven't had a whole lot of time to break these down yet. I have, kind of seen them and bounced around BlizzCon. So, hey, Dexter, dude, what's up? And I'm glad you're feeling better, Dexter. That's really good to hear. I don't think I can get Gilbert to say hi. I don't want to interrupt his stream. He looks like he's very engaged in a Hearthstone battle over there. So, let's talk about cards, guys. And again, I want your insights. So, Shirvala, the Tiger for Paladin. 25 mana card. Can I open this up in a bigger... Maybe not. We'll just look at Shirvala. Shirvala the Tiger, 25 mana, Paladin Legendary, a 7/5 beast. It has Divine Shield, Rush, and Lifesteal, and it costs 1 less for each mana you've spent on spells. So clearly, if you get this thing down to, 4 or 5 mana, it's going to feel like a good play. If you get it down to 0 mana, it's going to feel like a fantastic play. You're going to be, super excited. But then the challenge becomes how easy is this thing to get down to 0 mana? And in my mind, it doesn't seem that easy. So that's 25 mana in spells, even 20 to get it to a feel-good spot. That's going to happen organically throughout the course of a game, right? Like if you build your deck with, medium cost spells and 4 or 5, 6 mana spells, yeah, you're going to get it there eventually. But is it impactful enough as a top deck in the late game once it's been reduced that, it's game-changing, or it suggests you should build your deck in a way with so many spells to support it? I'm not sure. And then, for an on-curve play, it's never going to happen, right? It's not going to be something you play on turn 6. Even, turn 8 or 9 are going to be really challenging. I did the math right. You have 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. You start to add that up. And the break point there to get it at a reasonable cost is probably turn 5 or 6 if you're spending every mana on spells. But that's not something you're always going to be wanting to do. So it's something that's going to have to hit in the later game. Now, when you play it, it's going to feel good, right? It's like a super Zilliax. It's got all the stuff that makes Zilliax good. But and 7 attack is a huge heal. So maybe there is some heal Paladin build that makes this thing work in a sensible way. Obviously, a lot of the healing stuff for Paladins also spells. Just a couple lay on hands, and suddenly you're like, boom. I have a really cheap card that, well, not really cheap, but a playable card and a few other accessory spells here and there, and it's like, oh, great. It's suddenly okay. So I'm not giving up hope on it. We're gonna have a special guest for 2 seconds, guys. Look closely. Oh, maybe it's gone. You might have missed it. Oh, she ducked. No. We had the Natastical Blindness, the wife of Kibler, sneaking into the stream there. I was really pumped. Anyway, I think it's playable. I think it's got some potential. I think it's kind of cool. Prismatic Lens. Ooh, you're right. That's a neat idea. Yeah. There are some tricky ways to make this thing good. So now let's move on to Soul Thraze for Warrior, a 6 mana 4/4 weapon. And this introduces a new keyword, Overkill, which means if you do more damage than necessary when killing a minion, then you get to attack again. So this has 4 attacks. So for instance, if you kill something with 3 health, that would be an overkill of 1 damage, and you get to utilize your Soul Thraze again. And that's intriguing. We've seen some cards like that in the past that enabled Warrior to attack minions multiple times in a row, and I don't think they were super duper successful necessarily, but I'm kind of looking at this card as an aggro card almost. What if you just play this as a super Arcanite Reaper style card, right? It's only 1 damage less and 1 mana more than an Arcanite Reaper, but you get 4 attacks regardless of attacking minions. This is just a big pile of damage too. So I think there's some ideas here. I agree with Xenon in chat that 6 mana is maybe a little expensive for this. Maybe at 5 mana it would feel really, really juicy. At 6 mana, I'm not sure who's going to run it. Is this ever better than Super Collider or Gorehowl if you're looking to utilize it in a more of a control shell, right? I don't think it is. Gorehowl's better for taller boards. Super Collider's better for wider boards, arguably, because their health doesn't matter as much with Soul Thraze. So maybe this isn't more of a mid-range aggressive warrior deck or just a full-on aggro deck. I'm not really sure. It'd be great with upgrade. That might be true. Somebody asked how they can participate in the giveaway. We're going to do the headset giveaway in about 12 or 13 minutes, guys. At 4:30. It's currently 4:17, I think, my time. It's going to be simple. Don't worry. You're just going to have to enter a command in chat, and that'll enter you, and then we'll do the drawing live. So don't fret. We'll take care of it. Speaking of which, I might need to update my stream title. I'm trying to think about what it says. Sorry, guys. Everything is happening on the fly. Here we go. I'll update that. So now it says soon. So let's see. Good with pirates? Yeah, maybe. Weapon pirate build, that's certainly a possibility. A lot of chat saying it's too slow, doesn't fit an odd warrior. All good notes, yeah. A lot of things, a lot of ways to break that down. So up next we have the Shark Fin Fan, and this card, I think this is sneaky good, right? I haven't seen the reactions to this yet, but a 2-mana 2/2, it's a pirate, and also after your hero attacks, you summon another pirate. It's got that Patches vibe where you're just getting some free 1/1s in play, and I think that's promising. There are classes that, we've already seen this effect with Hinchclan Thug and Rogue after hero attacks. That's very powerful. Rogue, of course, has the weapon built into the hero power, so very easy for them to attack. But even Warrior Pirates, too, has been a thing in the past, and Warriors typically don't have a lot of trouble attacking. And even in wild format in particular, this thing could be nuts with Pirate Warrior, I would guess. So if there's enough pirate support, I think this card looks like it has a lot of promise. Because if you don't contest it early, it's one of those things, if you think about, like, I'm blanking on the name, even though I see it every day, the Murloc Totem for Shaman, the 0/3 that summons a Murloc at the end of the turn, how those 1/1s can just snowball out of control. Sharkfin Fan kind of feels the same way, so I think you should keep your eye on this card. And then after that, we have Spirit of the Shark for Rogue. This is one of the new Spirit cards. They're all 0/3s. They all have stealth for 1 turn, and then they do something which I guess synergizes with the Loa or the champion of the X pack. And in this case, it's 4 mana, and it reads, your minions' battle cries and combos trigger twice. It's interesting this specifies minions, so any sort of weapon battle cry or weapon combo would not work here. This is only minions. But I haven't thought about all the possibilities, but clearly this is one of those cards that does something unique and powerful, and I always think, keep an eye on these sorts of cards. Like, yes, there's a pretty high penalty to pay at 4 mana, but if you're getting more than 4 mana value out of your double combo or double battle cry, it's worth it. And this could be something you do in the late game with spare mana, and you could set it up for a future turn, so you might have 10 mana to work with for double combos. And that to me leads to opportunity. I don't know what that opportunity is yet. I don't know if it's Edwin exactly right, but just some kind of weird combo thing, and not combo in the sense of Rogue, but combo in the sense of I'm doing a ton of damage to you, or I'm setting up some insane board state, or whatever it is. Some wild, crazy thing's going to happen because of Spirit of the Shark. Lets you play more spiders, double tests. Yes, exactly. Examples like that. So, this is certainly not an everyday Rogue card that every deck's going to play, but I think that there will be some variation of Rogue that likes this or finds a reason to play it. JSTT says, note, it's the most expensive one of the Spirit cards. Did they say that somewhere? I didn't hear that, but did Tim say that? We asked Tim. I feel like I didn't hear that specified, but if so, that's interesting to know. So moving on, we have Spirit of the Bat, Warlock minion. Really cool artwork. It says, I hear Kibler exclaiming. This is exciting. I feel like I'm next to royalty over here, Hearthstone royalty. Spirit of the Bat, a 2-mana 0/3. Oh, this is Spirit 2. Oh, yes, of course. I actually barely processed when I saw this the first time. Also stealth for 1 turn, as all spirits do. And this one reads, after a friendly minion dies, give a minion in your hand +1/+1. So it's a hand buff card for Warlock, which previously we hadn't seen much, but we did get the spell recently. My brain is fried, guys, but give the leftmost minion in your hand +2/+2. I'm sorry, I can't think of names right now. But, and we had Void Analyst as well, which gave demons in your hand +1/+1. Soul Infusion, thank you, my goodness. It's been a long day already, guys. Please forgive me. I know these cards, as you know, but it's been a long day, a very busy, brain expiring day. So, Spirit of the Bat, hand buff has not historically had a lot of success, right? We saw it in Paladin in the past, didn't feel great. Soul Infusion is a little bit better hand buff, I think, because it's targeted in a way. Like, you can control it, and that's cool if you get it on charge minions, if you give it on your Serenite Chain Gangs, or your doubling imps, so that feels really good. So that aspect of it always made it better. Spirit of the Bat, not controlled, it's just universal, but it also has conditions, which, you have to kill minions. But because of that stealth for 1 turn, it may not be too hard for minions to die. Because, if you play this outside, 4 or 5 minions, your opponent's going to have to remove those minions. You get +4/+4. If it goes back into the next turn, you might have a harder time killing your own things if there's nothing to trade into, for instance. But I think this will hit for a few points of buffs when it's played fairly consistently if you have a minion-based early deck. It is true that this won't work very well with Keleseth, as JSCT brings up, because right now Keleseth might be more impactful to a Zoo style than Spirit of the Bat, but Keleseth won't be around forever. And that means I think you can hit 2-3 buffs on this, which, that's better than Keleseth in some cases, right? And it's not, it's not every minion in your deck, but it's minions in your hand, and depending on how many of those you have, that can be a lot of stats piling up. Now, interestingly for Spirit of the Bat, we have the next card, which is Hyreek the Bat. This is the Loa for Warlock. It's an 8-mana 1/1 beast, and it reads, Battlecry, fill your board with copies of this minion. So if you hit this guy with your Spirit of the Bat, and you give it +4/+4, suddenly that's an 8-mana 5/5 7 times, or 35/35 in stats. And I think people are sleeping on this. I see chat already kind of trashing this card a little bit, and some of the people I talked to when this was revealed didn't necessarily love it either. But I don't know. I think that sort of a board play is sometimes very difficult for a lot of decks to deal with. It's a counter pressure sort of card. And I feel like lately in Hearthstone, more and more counter pressure is winning games. In other words, what I mean by counter pressure is like your opponent does a bunch of things, and then you kind of just ignore their things, and you just like play a big set of stuff, and they can't really deal with your big set of stuff, and then you just kill them the next turn. And even cards like the Spellstone for Hunter, I feel like capture this, where it's like it almost doesn't even matter what happens the first few turns of the game. If you have that turn 5 Spellstone that summons 4 3/3s, often your opponent's just like, okay, gosh, I cannot deal with those. They're going to hit me for 12 or whatever, or just live for multiple turns. And with Hyreek, I think that can happen. Now, admittedly, this is an 8-mana card, not a 5-mana card like the Hunter Spellstone. So it's coming later. There might be less opportunity for that counter pressure to stick, but there are a lot of decks that just would not be able to answer this, right? And it's going to just overwhelm. I mean, even Dragon Caller Alana is something we've seen with that before too, where sometimes Dragon Caller Alana just wins a game. You just drop a board of stuff and the opponent can't deal with it, and you just do 30 damage next turn. And I feel like this is going to live in that space a little bit. Spreading Plague's not even that good of an answer to it if they're 5/5s, right? Because remember, this is not really a 1/1. You're not summoning 7 1/1s. You're hoping this gets buffed. You're only playing this in a world where you Soul Infusion it and you Spirit of the Bat it or whatever it is. So Void Analyst won't work because Void Analyst is it's only demons and this is a beast. But there are clearly still a lot of ways to buff this thing. So you're assuming this is 4/4s, 8/8s, and not 8/8s, 4/4s, 5/5s, 6/6s, maybe 8/8s. That's possible. And that's what makes it so scary. Now, clearly that takes some conditions to achieve. That's not going to happen automatically. But still, I think it is achievable. And that, to me, is what makes this card look pretty promising. So we're going to move through these next ones a little quicker because I'm going to run out of time if we don't. Next up, we have Surrender to Madness, 3-mana spell for Priest. It reads, destroy 3 of your mana crystals and give all minions in your deck +2/+2. And I don't even know what to make of this, guys. Now, obviously, destroying your mana is not something that's typically considered good in Hearthstone. You don't want to lose mana crystals. And my implication here, and maybe chat can confirm, I think this is confirming you lose your empty mana crystals too. So if you play this on turn 3, you would go back to 0 mana and have to start rebuilding your curve, right? Otherwise, that would just be costing 3 mana. So yeah, of course, that's what it means. So, this may not be the strongest turn 3 play. Like, restarting the game feels really punishing. And it might not, 1 mana versus, 4 mana is not that big of a difference. But 3 turns later when it's 3 mana versus 7 and 4 mana versus 8 or whatever the math is, that starts to feel like a pretty big delta, right? Your opponent's playing 8 mana stuff and you're playing 3 mana stuff. Even if it's buffed a little bit, +2/+2, I don't think that's going to make a big enough impact to outweigh the fact that your opponent is operating with so many more mana crystals. And especially because it takes a while to accrue these stats, right? You're giving the minions in your deck +2/+2. So you have to draw into those, and you have to spend mana playing them. It's going to take a long, long time for a card like Surrender to Madness to actually impact the game in a positive way. And you're sacrificing so much tempo in the meantime that how is that ever going to work? Yeah, you could play this on turn 10 and maybe it wouldn't feel as bad, but I'm still not sure that's a super strong play. Our friend Tim is back. Do you need help, Tim? Did we backpack? I don't think I saw you with a backpack, to be honest. We might be able to review the stream, but I good luck. I'm sorry, guys. Our friend from Blizzard, Tim, is back. He looking for something there, it seems. Okay, guys. So let's look at one more card. The Immortal Prelate. Is that how you say that word? Prelate? I think that's right. Prelate? Prelate? Prelate. It's Prelate, right? It's Prelate. When did you press enter accidentally? Did I press enter accidentally? What do you mean? What happened? I didn't see anything. Probably a pun I'm not understanding. Chad, I lost you. Where'd you go? There you are. So, Immortal Prelate, the 2-mana 1/3 for, oh yes, this is the King's Bane for Paladin. It has Death Rattle. Shuffle this into your deck. It keeps any enchantments. And I don't even know what to make of this. This seems challenging to work, right? It's how do you get it back out of your deck? Like, yeah, you put this in your deck and you get some cool stuff and you get a big guy, but then how do you get it back? How do you make it do anything? I feel like I don't know how I'd get it back. Now, we may need a mechanical question here. How does Crystology work with this card? Crystology, right, draws you 1 attack minions from your deck, but if you buff this thing with, say, Blessing of Kings and you make it a 5 attack minion, Crystology would no longer draw it, right? Witchwood Piper, that's a good idea. Call to Arms, okay, yeah, that's intriguing. And again, guys, thank you so much. I've not had time to think about this stuff, so you are helping immensely here. Yeah, so there are a couple ways to cheat it back out. Okay, I'm intrigued. It's still very susceptible to silence, as a lot of things in Paladin are, so I'm not sure that's necessarily something we can hold against it strictly, right? Like, we don't know. If you got a lot of silence targets, a lot of buffs, there might be other things you might want to silence too. So, Crystology would not draw the card. Okay, that's what I thought too, but we just want to make sure. So, yeah, it's intriguing. It's intriguing. It's certainly got promise, but I'm not convinced it's going to make a deck right off the bat. And, for instance, is even Paladin run a Disquest Paladin? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there's a new archetype. So, guys, on that note, what we're going to do next here is I'm going to give away one of these bad boys. It's an Omen Mindframe headset, guys. Can you see this on chat? I don't know if you guys can see this or not. No, here we go. I'll hold it up. I'm giving this away. Special BlizzCon treat from Regis to you guys. This is a $200 headset from Omen by HP. It's crazy insane. Like, it has literal cooling inside the headset. Like, it literally cools your ears. Like, it has basically an air conditioner inside the headset. So we're gonna give this away, and how that's gonna work is so somebody in chat's gonna win it right now. I mean, I'm gonna send it out later, but the selection process will happen live right now. So what we need to do is I'm gonna make sure this works, right? I'm opening a raffle, guys. Okay. And what you're going to do in chat is you're going to use !Raffle, like this. See what I just did? You're going to use !Raffle, okay? Everybody in chat use !Raffle. All right? And we're going to wait a few minutes for that to happen. !Raffle. !Raffle. Look at that, chat. Oh my god, so many raffles. Wow, that's exciting. All the raffles go out to Rastakhan. This is Rastakhan's raffle. All right, guys. So I don't think doing it twice helps. I don't think anything like that makes an impact. So just do one raffle, and we'll give it a few minutes here. We'll go till 4:33. 4:33. And some people who show up later are going to be mad that they missed it, but I got to do it fairly soon because I don't have forever, and I'm going to have to make a quick exit when I leave. So, okay. I'm hoping this works, by the way. We're going to see if this works. !Raffle, everybody. We're going to talk about more cards here in a second, don't worry, but first we're giving away an Omen Mindframe headset from Regis to you guys. It's a $200 headset. I don't even have this yet. I don't even have one of these yet. I don't own this yet. I haven't even been hooked up with an Omen Mindframe headset yet, and I'm giving it to you guys. So, $200 special BlizzCon treat bonus for having you guys join me today. How many viewers do we have, by the way? I don't even know. How many people are here for the raffle? 222 people in the raffle. My God. Is everybody, will you sign it? No, I don't have a way to do that. I'm sorry to say I will not be signing it. So guys, be sure if you're in chat to hit ! raffle. You will have a chance to win right now, like a 1 in 200 chance to win an insanely cool prize. An Omen headset. Like, this is amazing. I don't have a way to sign the box. I'm sorry to say. So we'll give it 2 more minutes. I'm gonna just talk to you guys for a bit. Everyone come in. Regis has waffles. Oh my God, I wish I had a waffle. I'm so hungry. I barely ate anything yesterday, and then I barely ate anything today. I was trying to get through all the stream stuff and just meet everybody. That's the next. I'm as excited as I am about Rastakhan's rumble. I'd rather have I am Rastakhan's grumble. Like, my stomach is grumbling. you can't get puns like these anywhere else, guys. Nowhere else. So, okay, ! Raffle, everybody. ! Raffle. You've got, will you kiss it? Sure, yeah. Here you go. Oh, that was I didn't expect the sound effect to come across so well, but I think it did. So, guys, you've got 30 seconds to hit ! Raffle if you'd like to be entered to win this Omen headset. From Regis to you. Showing you guys the love. You made this stuff possible for me, so I'm passing back some of the love as much as I can. 20 seconds. I hope this works. We're going to have to do it again. 15 seconds to hit ! Raffle to make sure you're entered into this raffle. Are these official cards you can discuss? Yeah, these have all been revealed. These were all at the panel. 5 seconds for ! Raffle. 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you're straggling, you better straggle right now because I'm hitting the button. All right, so now we're going to do a draw on the raffle. I hope this worked. I don't even know if this works or not. Let's hope to God it worked. Okay, it worked. We have a winner. It is Juju8120. Announced as winner in chat. Juju8120. Been following Regis. No, he's been on Twitch for 309 days. We don't know how long he's been following Regis. Maybe never. We'll never know. But Juju8120, congratulations on the headset. I will send you a Twitch whisper. It will not be today, probably. It'll be tomorrow or Sunday. It's going to take me a while to just get organized, but I need to actually make sure I have that name saved. Juju8120. Is there a mod here, like Tingus? Can somebody put that in the Discord for me? Tingus, can you put Juju? It's this name right here. JOO8120 in the Discord, so I make sure I know who that is. Congratulations, Juju8120, on the insane prize. Thank you guys again for letting me do this stuff. It's my way to give back a little bit. I know not everybody can win, which is unfortunate, but it's the best I can do. So I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for that. And now I need to make sure I take that out of the stream title so new folks don't get upset. And congrats, Juju. That was awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, look, Ixidy's helping me out, too. That's awfully nice with the whispers, guys. That's super helpful. So, that said, congrats, Juju. I don't even know. Did Juju say anything in chat? Does he even know he won? He's right there. He says, can I eat that? You might be able to turn it into food. I don't know. Sell it and turn it into food. What you do with it's not my business. It's up to you. So that's it, guys. We've got like 25 more minutes. I think you probably have to end a little early because he can't hear you. No headset. No headset. Yeah. We might be passing off our streaming station to Disguised Toast. I don't know if he's going to invade Kibler or me, but let's talk about some more cards till we run out of time. So, up next we have Void Contract, a new Warlock spell. 8 mana. Destroy half of each player's deck. And I don't even know what to make of that. Can you guys sort that out? Like, what does that mean? Is it good in a Fatigue Warlock, where you're just trying to rely on like Gul'dan's hero power, for instance, to outlast your opponent? Does Warlock have any ways to shuffle new cards into the deck? Like, I don't know. I don't think they do, right? There's no like academic espionage for Warlock. I mean, there's always stuff like Elise and Augmented Elite can allow you to do shenanigans. Mechathune or anti-combo, yeah, that's a good point. Mechathune getting your deck destroyed shuffles you a lot farther down the Mechathune chain. But to do that, you would have to get all of your combo pieces in hand first, which might be tough. It's the Thanos card. You're right, it is. It is Thanos, indeed. That's funny. We had Blood Mage Thanos. Now we have the Warlock Thanos card. That's perfect. Go Infinite with Elik and Banker. Yeah, there are possibilities there. Now, the thing about this card is, right, it is half. And first off, we don't know how that's going to round. I'm assuming it rounds up? I don't know. But it's going to get worse and worse over the course of the game, right? Presumably, like if you play this on turn 5, it's destroying a ton of cards. If you play this when they only have 5 cards left in their deck, it's only destroying 2 or 3 cards, which probably isn't making nearly as big of an impact. But I like this idea of a disruptive anti-combo Warlock, like Gnome Feratu style stuff. That's something we've played and should be a lot of fun. So I'm very intrigued by this card, even if it's not necessarily good. And then up next we have the Savage Striker for Druid. Cool. Troll riding a raptor here, it looks like. 2 mana, 2/3, battle cry, deal damage to an enemy minion equal to your hero's attack. And for this one, we've seen a card exactly like this with Merc Spark Eel that does 2 damage to a target, And, well, this is just enemy minions. Merc Spark Eel, I guess, can hit anything. But regardless, with Savage Striker, it's going to be hard to get enough attack, I think, to make this good, right? Like, if you play this with hero power, it's just pinging for 1, which not especially awesome. Regis, where are you right now? I'm at BlizzCon. Where are you, Gio? I'm at BlizzCon on the BlizzCon floor streaming. So, you play this with Savage Roar, you get a 2 damage ping, but then, like, why are you playing a Savage Roar, right? Are you ending the game because you've played a Savage Roar? I don't know when this is being utilized, right, and why your hero has attack. Maybe with Malfurion, it's possible to get 3, but if you're already post turn 7, and then, like, is a 2 mana 2/3 going to matter on turn 7 plus? I don't know if it's going to make as big of an impact. Claw would be a good example of a low cost spell that would enable it maybe, but beyond that, I just don't see it. I don't know. This seems awkward to me, unless there's like some new card that empowers your hero early with attack damage or something. It's possible. But to me, this looks tough. Maybe, what actually wouldn't be terrible is like an even Druid. Even then, though, you don't get the upgrade on the hero power, so it would still only be a 1 damage ping. Just looks like it's going to be a little awkward. Looks like it'll be tough. And then moving on, we have Spring Paw, the 1 mana 1/1 beast here for Hunter with Rush, and it says Battle Cry add a 1/1 Lynx with Rush to your hand. And I think this card's sneaky good, and I think it's good for a couple reasons. One, it's just an early minion to play that can make an immediate impact, and that's often good. But when you combine this with Scavenging Hyena in particular, whoa, that seems insanely good, right? Like guaranteed instant kills for your early game Scavenging Hyena. Doesn't that seem powerful? We saw that in the past with like Alley Cat. They were just passively sitting there, and sometimes you just hope that they got to die. The cute cat, spam your cute cat emotes in chat if you can. If the cute cat died and you buffed your Scavenging Hyena, that could just like snowball out of control early. Spring Paw like allows you to do that more predictably, I would argue. Now it does cost 2 mana to play both of these, presumably, right? We don't know about the other links, but I have to assume it's also a 1 mana 1/1. And that could be challenging. But also, implications for Quest Hunter with all these 1-drops and the immediate impact cards. What's that other card, like Toxmonger? What's the card that gives poisonous to 1 mana cards? That's something that could make this intriguing. So I think there's a couple different angles to play this in a minion-based Hunter build. Beast synergies, just cheap beasts can be good too for all those Houndmasters and kill commands and stuff. I like this card. I think this will find a home somewhere along the way. Toxmonger, yeah, exactly, perfect. We are so going to hate this card. Ooh, interesting. You think it's that bad, huh? That good, I should say, that good. So up next we have the Baited Arrow, guys. 5 mana spell for Hunter, and it deals 3 damage. It has Overkill. Remember we saw Overkill earlier on the Sulthraze. Overkill means if it does more damage than necessary to kill the minion, then you get an effect. And in this case, so if you hit a 2 damage minion or a 2 health minion or a 1 health minion, you would overkill them and you would also summon a 5/5. Now, to me, weirdly enough, I was talking to Ant and Wrasse, 2 professional players who both really liked this card. I'm not as convinced that it's that good. Yes, it has swing potential, much like Flanking Strike, right? You kill something and you get something. But it's a turn slower than Flanking Strike, which may not sound like a lot, but it really is, because turn 4 is where the 3 health stuff lives because they play something on 3. It's got 3 health often. Turn 4, you line up perfectly against it. By turn 5, things tend to get a little bit more health at that point, right? They're playing 4 drops, they're playing Fungal Mancers, and I don't think Baited Arrow lines up. Now, beyond that even, you don't kill 3 health things, you kill 2 health things. So it has to be like a leftover sort of, random minion that's just kind of hanging around. And that's not always going to be the case. Now, that said, you get a 5-5. 5-5 for 5, it's okay, but I don't think it's that exciting. Like Fungal Mancer. Good point, actually. Yes, you could hit the Fungal Mancer itself. That's true. But is that enough, I guess, right? Is a 5-5 enough? Is that impactful? Like, Hunter is already cheating out 5-5 so fast. And so consistently, I don't know. I don't feel like there's quite enough here. There's going to be turns, too, where it doesn't do anything, right? Turns where you just can't play it at all. Much like, well, you can always hit face with it, right? But, I mean, you don't get the 5-5 out of it. And if you don't get the 5-5, obviously, it wasn't Murloc. I don't know where it is, but there's some insane Murloc cosplay. Oh, there they are. They look unbelievable. And I think they have, like, Murloc recordings playing. So regardless, to me, this looks like it's not a swing card like Flanking Strike. It's not like a minion-based thing because it's too conditional because sometimes you won't be able to summon a 5-5 and you're just sitting on a weird card. It's not great face damage. So, although, it does some things you like, I'm comparing it to Bane of Doom right now. It's like a consistent Bane of Doom. Think about it. Bane of Doom does 2 damage and it summons a thing. And sometimes that thing is good, sometimes that thing is bad. This is like that. Deal 2 damage, because remember, you're trying to get the overkill, so it's really only 2 damage. And you get a 5-5. So instead of a random demon, you get a consistent beast. And I'm not sure that's good enough, right? I don't know that we'd be playing Bane of Doom if it always said summon a 5-5 demon. I don't think we would, right? But I don't know. 2 stars right now in my mind. 2 stars. I'm going to give all these stars in a second here if I have time. Up next, we have Reign of Toads for Shaman. Beautiful artwork. Incredible effect on board when it's played. We saw that teased. 6 mana spell, summon 3 2/4 toads with Taunt and Overload 3. So this is kind of a 9 mana spell if you look at it total cost wise. Very hefty for 3 2/4s. Really, I would argue strictly worse maybe than just like Phantom Militia. Probably not strictly worse, but in a way worse than Phantom Militia because you don't have the flexibility of playing it earlier. And but it is, well, no, never mind. That's backwards. You do have the flexibility of playing it on turn 6, which is earlier, but you don't have the flexibility of playing like just 3 mana Phantom Militia, for instance. So in some ways more flexible, in other ways less flexible. But ultimately, turn 6 post, how impactful is it dropping 3 2/4 taunts? Is that enough? Plays super hard into things like Mossy Horror, which we already see. Like, this is a million times worse than Spreading Plague, I would say. A little better on an empty board, but just not as impactful as a defensive sort of card. And yes, Feral Spirit is far more efficient in my mind. It's impactful on turn 3, you get some bodies, and 2 Feral Spirits would be 4 minions as opposed to 3 with Reign of Toads. A little bit more overload, of course. So they don't line up exactly. But I don't know. I feel like this card's a little too punishing. Now, I will say the one case I could see for this card seeing some play is in an overload-based deck that's looking to stretch the game out pretty long. So, unlike Earth Elemental, which is a big, scary minion that's 5 mana with a big overload, this is more defensive, right? It doesn't have the potential to just overwhelm people like Earth Elemental. This is more about stalling out the game, slowing it down. So there's an overload deck that likes to play a slow style, wants to play into a control or some kind of combo aspect. This might be the sort of card that fits there, that just slows things down, provides a little speed bump for your opponent while you're setting up overload synergies. So if there is an overload deck that shows up, maybe this is one to keep an eye on. Otherwise, I'm not real confident. Now, moving on, we have the Pyromaniac for Mage, 3 mana 3/4. It's a great stat line. As you guys know, I love the 3 mana 3/4s. And Spider Tank build. It reads, whenever your hero power kills a minion, draw a card. Now, we know that Mage hero powers can kill minions. We've seen it time and time again with Frostlich Jaina. So I'm not too worried about this thing satisfying its condition. I know that does line up. The challenge for Pyromaniac, unlike Frostlich Jaina, right, is that hero power just always works. This guy has to be on board for that hero power to work. So it's not going to line up as cleanly, and it's not often going to provide value long term. But if it just draws 1 card, is that good? Pinging off something you want to ping off is already you like doing that. That's a positive, and then it just adds another level of a positive to it. So you get a positive and a positive. You're not sacrificing anything. It's just a nice little bonus. So I feel like if you just drop this whenever it lines up and you get a card out of it, and you get a decent 3-mana 3/4, even if you just play it on curve sometime and hope it sticks to turn 4, so you ping something. I think it looks good. It's not going to blow anybody's mind or just like completely revolutionize a deck, but I could certainly see some people fitting this in, just because the stats are great for vanilla stats and the effect is a good thing to have. So I think it's a reasonable looking card. Moving on here, we have Hexlord Malakras, an 8-mana 5/5 for Mage, the legendary champion for Mage. And this card's pretty crazy to think about. It says, Battle Cry, add a copy of your opening hand to your hand. And that's just insane. Like, so many different ways for that to impact a game. So the most obvious output for this card is just value and resource generation, right? Like, it's going to generate 3 to 4 cards just out of thin air. And even if they're not the ideal card, there's some super combo card, they're just cards. And you like having cards if you're playing a slower deck. And for 8 mana with a body attached, that's probably something that's okay to do sometimes, right? Like, you just get cards that you like because they're in your deck. They're cards you know are good. And often that's going to line up nicely. It's just a value resource. But I think there's another angle here with this card where suddenly things that would otherwise be impossible become possible, right? There are, all of a sudden, you've got opportunities for crazy combos, additional burst damage, like just keep all the fireballs in your opening hand, and you play this, you get more fireballs, right? Or flame strikes, or whatever it is, right? Keleseth, any sort of card that makes a really big impact and might be hard to otherwise get, this could add consistency and add layers to that to make you do things that shouldn't be possible. And what's cool about that is that it makes you think about your mulligan in a totally different way, because suddenly cards you wouldn't want to keep suddenly make sense, right? Like, okay, I need Flame Strikes. This is going to be a game where I need a lot of removal. I'm going to keep Flame Strike in my opening hand when I otherwise wouldn't. Or I need tons of damage in this game, so I'm going to keep whatever. Or I need board, I need bodies. I'm going to keep extra minions. I'm going to keep that Lich King to make sure that I have a second Lich King. And that extra layer of strategy, I think, is really intriguing and adds some extra fun to the game and extra strategy to the game. I think it would copy the coin, yeah. I don't know if we know exactly mechanically how this is going to work, but as far as, like, does it happen after the first card draw or before the first card draw? I don't know. We'll learn, but regardless, I don't think that 1 or 2 card difference makes a huge change to its playability. Obviously, the more cards, the better, but nonetheless, I think it'll be good regardless, even on the low end there. And then finally, one last card, guys. I do only have, like, I think 4 or 5 minutes left. So last card is Cannon Barrage for Rogue, a 6-mana spell, and it reads, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Repeat this for each of your pirates. So if you had 7 pirates on board, this thing would do, what, 21 damage to random enemies. And this can go face. Remember, it is a random enemy, so if your opponent doesn't have any minions out, this could be a significant burst damage finisher, I think. If you have, 3 pirates, suddenly that's a 9 damage spell. It's almost like a Pyroblast. 24 damage? 7 times 3 is 21, right? You only have 7 minions on board. 7 times 3 is definitely 21. I don't know. Oh, it's repeated. Oh, I got you. Yes, so it is 24. Oh, okay, got you. So 24 total damage. Back to my thought, though. Like a 6-mana Pyroblast, is that a good finisher? Is that something that... Is that worth playing, or do you rather just have eviscerates and stuff, right? Like, because I'm assuming, right, you're playing this in a deck as a finisher. Otherwise, it's just a win more card that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think you'd use this as a swing card because you'd have to have the pirates out. I think it's probably going to be damage that you try to sneak to face. And even then, it won't always be possible, right? Because they're going to have taunts in the way or just little baby minions that get in the way. You can compare it to Bloodlust. You can, like an untargeted Bloodlust in a way. That's true. So part of me thinks this is a win more card, but also if it lines up, I don't know. It could be some sneaky big damage, but it's one of those things. It's 6 mana. That's pretty far in the game. If you're playing a really aggressive Pirate Rogue deck, you might need to have already won, and this might not essentially make a difference. I can't see all of the text on the card. Oh, my face is blocking it. Oh, I didn't realize that. Thank you, jerks. I had no idea. That's not normally where my cam lives. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the heads up. So it feels awkward to me. It feels like a worse Bloodlust, or just not the finisher maybe that we need, and a bit of a win more card. Yes, you can prep it, but I mean that's true of any spell. I don't know. Is it a swing card? I guess is the question. Can you play like 3 pirates and prep this and feel good about it? Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. My name is Callum, not Jerks. Oh, sorry, Callum. I don't know why I thought I saw Jerks. Am I going crazy? I literally just thought I saw the name Jerks. I must be going crazy. It's been a long day. Very, very long day. So, I don't know. This does not feel like the finisher that an aggressive pirate rogue would need. But fundamentally speaking, I don't suppose it's bad. I mean, obviously, if you can get 9, 10, 12 damage out of this thing, it starts to look good as either AoE removal or just raw face damage. So, I think it has a glimmer of hope, but probably not great overall. That said, let me give some quick star ratings on these. These are going to be garbage ratings because I have not had time to think about these. They're not going to make any sense. I'm going to look back and say these are stupid, but I'm going to know that I didn't have a real thought process. So Shirvala the Tiger is a 3-star card. Soul Thraze is a 3-star card. Sharkfin Fan is a 4-star card. Spirit of the Shark is a 3-star card. Spirit of the Bat is a 3-star card. Hyreek the Bat. I'm actually gonna go on a wild tangent and give this thing 4 stars, guys. I think I'm gonna be unusual in that aspect, but I think I am. Surrendered Madness. I'm saying 1-star card. I just don't think this is gonna line up. No. I take it back. 2-star card. 2-star card. I take it back. 2-star. Because 2 stars fine. Immortal Prelate 2 stars. Void Contract 2 stars. Savage Striker 1 star. Springpaw 4 stars, Baited Arrow 2 stars, Reign of Toads 2 stars, Pyromaniac 4 stars, Hexlord Malakras 4 stars, and Cannon Barrage, I think 2. I don't want to give it 3. I think only 2 stars on the Cannon Barrage. So, yeah, some good cards here. Not anything super crazy that I see yet. I think there's some potential for cards like Springpaw to be really strong. I think Malakras could be something that gets seen a lot, but I don't think anything that's totally expansion-changing or just blowing anybody's mind. So that's it, guys. I think I'm going to have to call it quits here. I think we got to end our time together today, but we'll be back before too long, and I'll be updating you guys on Twitter and everything else on my TwitchCon adventures. So thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Congrats again, Juju, on the crazy headset prize, man. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for entering. Thank you for watching. Thank you for talking through these cards. Thank you for making it possible for me to be here. I love each and every one of you guys so very much. And stay tuned. I'll try to get this up on YouTube, too, with some thoughts. But it's going to be hard for me to make videos over the next day or two. So I may just have to keep up with you on Twitter until I get back home to the Regis station and get to do a lot of fun stuff. Theory crafting, all kinds of new cards and all that excitement. Will there be new cards the next 2 days? I doubt it, Real Zalea, but I'm not sure. But guys, thank you as always so very much for watching. I appreciate all of your time. And until next time, everybody, game on.